Have you ever met someone who doesn't flash their wealth, doesn't show off their possessions, but something about them whispers, "This person is different"? Not loud like a sports car, but quiet like old money. In this video, we'll decode 8 subtle signs that whisper you're truly upper class. These aren't your typical how to be rich tips. They're powerful, unexpected habits and mindsets that signal elite status even before a word is spoken. Stay with us till the end, because the last one is so rarely noticed, it's almost invisible, but it might just change your entire perspective on wealth. If you're ready to break through barriers and achieve greatness, hit that subscribe button. We're here to support your journey to success. Let's get started. Sign number 1. Mastery over reactions. Have you ever noticed how the upper class seems to handle setbacks with grace and composure? It's not just about wealth, it's about mastery over emotional reactions. When life throws curveballs, those who have mastered emotional responses maintain their cool and focus on solutions rather than getting caught up in the drama. One common mistake is reacting impulsively to stress or criticism, which can derail progress and cloud judgment. Practice mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing and meditation to center yourself during stressful moments. Take a moment to assess the situation before responding, ensuring your actions align with your long-term goals. Just as athletes train to perform under pressure, mastering emotional responses is a skill that can be honed through practice and discipline. Now let's talk about the kind of silence that commands rooms even louder than words. Sign number 2. Strategic silence. Clara, a real estate advisor in San Diego, sat through a $1 million negotiation. She barely spoke, just observed. At the end, she asked one laser-sharp question that reframed the entire deal. The buyer turned to her and said, "You just saved me $80,000. In upper-class culture, silence isn't awkward, it's power. According to a behavioral economics study, people who pause before speaking are perceived as 26% more intelligent and 40% more credible. Many people filling every silence with chatter. It often signals nervousness or the need to be validated. Practice the strategic pause. When asked a question, take a beat. When others talk, let them finish fully. Silence makes your words land harder. Master the pause. It adds weight to your presence. You control more by speaking less. Number 3. The taste for timeless over trendy. The upper class often avoid trend-driven items. They invest in timeless aesthetics, furniture, watches, books, art that appreciate in emotional and cultural value. According to a report by Deloitte, households with net worth over $2 million spend more on art, antiques, and preservation than electronics or luxury gadgets. Cultivate an eye for timeless quality. Think heirloom, not hype. Choose goods with a story, not just a tag. Now you may ask, what if I can't afford expensive timeless pieces? Start with small things. A vintage clock, a handmade journal. True class isn't about what you buy. It's about what you keep for decades. Invest in things you'd want your grandchildren to inherit. Timelessness creates an aura of quiet authority. Now what if I told you the way you spend says more than what you spend on? Let's go deeper. Sign number 4. Discretionary disconnection. The silent signal of power. In a world where most people are plugged in 24/7, chasing likes, scrolling endlessly, and drowning in dopamine hits, the truly powerful disconnect by choice. While the average American spends over $3,500 per year on digital subscriptions, gadgets, and streaming distractions, the upper class is investing that time and mental space into reading, deep thinking, or wealth-building strategies. Disconnection isn't a loss, it's a luxury of control. And here's the brutal truth. If your attention is always hijacked, so is your potential. Most people mistake being available all the time as a virtue. They reply instantly, react emotionally to every notification, and let distractions decide their day. When Oprah Winfrey built her billion-dollar empire, one of her key personal practices was intentional solitude. She often talks about spending Sundays alone, reading, thinking, and planning, not out of loneliness but power. That time helped her stay centered, focused, and visionary in a world that constantly pulls people in 1,000 directions. Being constantly connected is the new poverty of attention. The upper class knows that focus is the rarest and most valuable currency. Master it, and you start living on your own terms, not the algorithms. Number 5. Linguistic precision. In a world where casual speech dominates, like, basically, those who master precise communication instantly command respect. According to a Harvard Business Review study, leaders who articulate thoughts with clarity and brevity are 42% more likely to be seen as credible and trustworthy. Why does this matter? Because words shape perception, and perception shapes opportunity. Every or vague ramble quietly taxes your perceived intelligence. And in America's fast-paced, $20 trillion economy, being misunderstood is expensive. Read powerful literature daily, even 10 minutes a day. Pause before responding in conversations. This isn't hesitation, it's reflection. A short pause signals thoughtfulness, not confusion. While the average person talks to be liked, the upper class speaks to be remembered. One uses words as noise, the other wields them as strategy. Number 6. Symbolic restraint. Ever noticed how the truly wealthy rarely flaunt it? No blinged-out outfits, no loud brands, no over-the-top declarations. Why? Because real power whispers through symbolic restraint, and that silence is louder than any Rolex. In a society obsessed with look-at-me culture, designer labels, luxury cars on credit, and $10,000 weddings while carrying $40,000 in student debt, the upper class is playing a different game. They understand that wealth is what you don't see. Here's where most people go wrong. They chase validation through visibility. They buy that $1,500 handbag to prove they're successful to people who are just as broke. They upgrade to the newest iPhone every year while carrying $7,000 in revolving credit card debt. But every dollar spent on status is a dollar stolen from future freedom. It's the equivalent of burning your future to impress the present. Use the "would I still want this if no one saw it?" rule. Ask yourself before every purchase. If the answer is no, skip it. Let simplicity be your signature. Invest in quality, not quantity. One timeless watch over 5 flashy ones. Number 7. Intergenerational intent. Lydia, a retired teacher, spent 30 years creating small trusts, writing family wisdom journals, and planting fruit trees in her backyard for her grandkids. She never earned more than $60,000 a year, but today, her legacy funds college for 4 children and teaches them values through stories. The ultimate sign of upper-class mindset is thinking beyond one lifetime. According to the Williams Group Wealth Consultancy, 70% of wealthy families lose their wealth by the second generation and 90% by the third. Why? Because most never plan with legacy in mind. Create intentional financial blueprints. Document values, stories, strategies. Even if your net worth isn't high now, the mindset of legacy makes your life exponentially richer. The wealthy think in centuries, not seasons. Number 8. When the wealthy don't trade hours, they buy freedom. Let's be brutally honest. If you're still exchanging your time for a paycheck and can't unplug without losing income, you're not free. A shocking Gallup survey revealed that 85% of full-time workers globally hate their jobs, yet they stick around, stuck in a cycle where time is a liability, not an asset. But the upper class flips the equation. They treat time like a stock portfolio, diversified, protected, and appreciated. That's the subtle difference between surviving and scaling. Here's the everyday trap. People sell their time cheap. They say yes to everything. They work overtime without equity. They binge-watch shows instead of building side skills. Start saying no to low-value time traps, like mindless scrolling or meetings without purpose. Invest in passive income systems, stocks, ETFs, real estate, or digital products. Let your money work overtime instead of you. Time is the most valuable non-renewable asset. The upper class doesn't hustle harder, they hustle smarter. So, what do all these subtle signs have in common? They don't shout, they whisper. They don't impress, they influence. They don't beg for attention, they radiate quiet certainty. Being upper class isn't about money alone. It's about mindset, manner, and meaning. You don't have to wait until you're rich to embody these traits. You grow into wealth by practicing them daily. Before you leave, take a moment to consider, did this content resonate with you? If even one concept sparked inspiration or clarity, share your thoughts in comments. Share this video with your loved ones who need it. Thank you for joining us today. Our wealthy discussion will continue in the next video. Until then, keep building wealth.